we go. Pray this works, or I'm going to get
Let's
angry.
hope it works. Hello, everybody. We are, as usual, having technical difficulties in Boomery and everything. And yes, it is my fault, because I'm easily confused by technology.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of my job, but shoot. Anywho,
Yeah, there we go.
Do,
It's working on Rumble. I can see
we only do
now.
this dual streaming thing like once a year, and I always just forget what I'm doing every time. Every time it's the first time. I'm always
just to explain how this works.
The definition of insanity.
If you go on OBS and you basically you choose the server URL and the stream key. That's it.
It's easy on your side. I do all this weird stuff on Restream, which makes it confusing, and I'm dumb.
Yes, but Restream is basically...
I'm having a woman moment, all right?
Restream is basically you take the server URL and the stream key, and you put it in one place on both sides, and then it goes through Restream. So basically...
with Restream, though, is that I just expect it to, like, update with current thing, speaking of the current thing, but it didn't.
It doesn't work because every new stream that you do on Rumble requires that you get a new key, which is
and YouTube,
kind of annoying.
It made a new fake thing on YouTube, which, by the way, I have to go delete.
Can birds use spoons? I think crows are likely to take them and throw them at you because crows are bastards.
Crows are really smart.
Yes, they are, but they're also pricks.
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, sorry about that. Sorry about that last thing. It's gone now. The fake stream. Aiden, have I eaten today? Yes, I have. And I have a box of Kellogg's original Special K, because I found out that it's really, really high in B vitamins.
Special K also describes your brain.
Rude. So if I need to have a little snack, I can
not die, basically.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I've done shit like that too.
Did I have breakfast? I had a bacon sandwich for breakfast.
Okay, there we go.
Did I eat my cheese? I didn't have any cheese yet today. I did have some bacon, and there was butter on it. It's not ketamine.
How much butter did you eat? All of it.
Oh, I'm out of bagels because I've been eating a lot of bagels, and I put butter on it and then cream cheese. Not cream cheese, cottage cheese, because that's what I like on bagels. I know that's weird. I don't know why I like that so much, by the way.
Please tell me it has pepper on it.
Pepper?
Yes.
Like as in cracked pepper?
Yes.
Why?
How can you have cottage cheese and not have pepper on it? What the fuck's wrong with you?
I just put salt on it. I put a lot of salt on it too. I do. That's my thing. Okay, we're talking about food.
Women,
but like, of course. It wouldn't be broken ground if we don't start by talking about food.
Yeah, it's kind of what we do here.
Yeah, that's my thing. I like to put cottage cheese on bagel. It's one of the things that I like. I also like pineapple on pizza.
There's some people that will kill you for that.
I know, and
and there's some people that will put you on a throne.
People get so mad about the pineapple on pizza thing.
Yeah, it's a constant riff between Sticks and and Razor Fist.
Yeah, well, speaking of,
I don't like when brothers fight.
I know, no more brother wars. But speaking of Razor Fist, I actually have something that's somewhat related that I'm going to talk about, because I had a tweet that I made about this, which
what
is
did he
that.
Do now?
Oh, he didn't do anything. It's just related to a lot of people have asked me over the years to like debate Sticks on shoot, what's it called?
Monarchy?
No. Oh, that wouldn't go well.
Libertarianism?
No, we just yell at each other. That one probably would go okay. We would agree. But here's the thing. It's gosh, I can't think of anything. The Witcher series versus Elric Saga, and because as Razorfish is a really big fan of Elric, and I'm a really big fan of The Witcher. And people are, and of course, well, you probably don't know this, I suppose, but Razorfist really does not like The Witcher because it is an obvious
rip-off of the Polish version that he likes.
No. The Polish version is The Witcher, but he likes Elric. It is objectively
Polish,
ripped off from. And so it's like, Aiden, you're a big Witcher fan. Why don't you debate Razorfist? I'm like, why? I agree with him. Sapkowski 1000% stole and ripped off Elric. It's like I'm not going. We wouldn't disagree. I just like my ripoff. I like my ripoff written by a very angry Polish man. I just like it. I have a sentimentality to that series. I haven't read Elric, to be fair, either. I know it's a ripoff, but I still like it. I'm allowed to like bad things sometimes. I don't think it's bad, by the way. I think that, again, why is The Witcher good? Because Sapkowski stole it directly. And in fact, you know how we know this with unquestionable doubt, with no doubt, is because Sapkowski worked for the translation company that published Elric in the Polish language. So, yeah, not a doubt that he stole it. I still like The Witcher. I love it. So I'm not going to debate. I mean, well, that would be a great debate there. What's the question? Did Andrzej Sapkowski rip off Elric?
Apparently
one
you
side.
like Twilight.
One side, yes. Other side, yes. Not a very good debate. I don't know. Oh my god, I did read the first Twilight book when I was in college because
I'm going to forever mock you for you just saying that, by the way.
Well, because my friend and I went to different colleges, and she was in this book club and trying to meet people, right? And so they were reading Twilight together. This was like
you were reading Twilight to mix people. I can't imagine anything more gay than what you just said.
I was not doing it to meet people. I was doing it because my friend was reading it, and she asked me to read it with her. And it was absolute trash.
Bollocks. Yes.
Absolute trash. I hated it, and she hated it too. So we got to bond in our friendship of mutual hatred because everyone at her university liked it.
I've also read like the first chapter of like 50 Shades of Grey because someone told me to, and I went like, this character
which is
very
fan fiction.
Which is very boring though, because Christian as a character is very static.
Aiden, am I Team Edward or Team Jacob? I'm on Team Twilight. Is fucking literary trash. So if I had to pick, Jacob, because at least he's the same age, but then he does weird stuff with that baby. Yikes. He's not 300 years older than Bella, at least. Pretending to be a teenager. Twilight is so, if you think about anything that happens in those books for like 1 second, it is so disturbingly messed up. Oh, A Tale of Two Nonsense. Sarah Fox, absolutely. So George R.R. Martin, the writer of A Song of Ice and Fire, is threatening to sue. I guess he's going to sue the makers of ChatGPT after a fan used it to finish the final 2 books of A Song of Ice and Fire. Now, I wanted to start out with non-war news. So that we could.
Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, there's one thing that's been dominating the news for a lot of hours, and there's an unholy amount of propaganda right now. It's not even funny. It's kind of insane.
Yes, and it's not YouTube friendly for us to talk about it at all. So.
Well, not the way that I'm gonna fucking talk about it.
When we get to that section, we're going to switch over to Rumble. But
where we can say base things, and I can say the F word.
Where I can say what I actually think. And I was saying this earlier. I was speaking to Arth Misa, who might be in the chat or not, but he told me that he made some videos about the conflict, and I almost entirely agreed with his takes on it. And he said he lost. You are going to lose subscribers. He said he lost subscribers. People said, screw you. No, you have to pick a side. And saying, no, we don't actually. I don't actually have to pick a side here, and that they were going to leave and they were going to unsubscribe for that. Yeah, you know what? Sorry.
I think you and I are going to be okay really because we are not simping for a particular side.
We don't have normal opinions on anything.
Yeah, that's the one thing I like about us is that no one's going to come to us and go, oh, you're going to have a normal Republican take. Like, no, we're not actually. We're going to have a very different take.
Hey, yeah, Arthur Beast is in the chat. And go check out his channel and his videos on it and give him subscriber so that, to make up for those who can't take people having nuanced opinions on things. Yes. Because that's very silly. I
said this to Aiden. Do you know who actually bizarrely had the most sane, rational take of anyone that I've seen?
Oh, do you have that saved? Because it's the Tate brothers, which is crazy. But let me see if I can find that. Hang on. Where was that?
It's in my YouTube. Give me a second.
Yeah, go find that in a second while I read some of this.
It was insane. I just went like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
like
it's nutty.
we have, I said this to Hayden, like we have political pundits, we have freaking content creators, we've got a shitload of clearly paid shill fuckers on social media, all these jackasses. And the two people that have the most sane, rational takes when it comes to war are two guys accused of sex trafficking. We live in a fucking weird timeline. It is.
What even is this?
It's fucking bizarre.
Yeah, it's so weird when they have a sane take.
Yes.
Now, of course, the other take that you said that Arch had that I thought was interesting is
I like Arch's take.
Screw them both, restore the Holy Roman Empire, essentially.
Yeah, it was pretty much
restore Christendom. Very based, Arch. Very based. Anywho, as of this, winter is coming. The battle against the robots is on. For pretty much all of 2023, people are talking about generative AI programs like ChatGPT, which can take a simple prompt and generate coherent, legible responses. Is the end of writing as a profession? Is this the end of writing as a profession? If we want to read a good story, do we need to buy something written by a, you meant writer? Good, all right, written by a written. Or can we just tell ChatGPT to spin us a yarn and be satisfied? The jury is still extremely out in the answers to those and many other questions. For instance, there are currently little to no legal governing this. Who wrote this? Barstool Sports? Jeff Kravitz? Like, you have so many grammatical errors.
Oh, here it is. There we go.
That and authors like George R.R. Martin, John Grisham, and Jonathan Franzen have teamed up to sue ChatGPT's parent company, OpenAI, alleging mass-scale copyright infringement. To prove their case, the authors cite instances of ChatGPT being used to write things that it couldn't write had it not illegally incorporated copyrighted works. For example, one fan used ChatGPT to write long, voluminous versions of The Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring, the next two volumes in Martin's Song of Ice and Fire series. The lawsuit specifically cites this work as part of its case, proving up OpenAI's infringing behavior. You gotta, dude. I'm a writer, is what you say after you had that many grammatical errors. Dude, pretty serious. Okay. Go ahead.
That video that I just showed you about Andrew Tate, Andrew and Tristan, that's been removed for violating YouTube's terms of services.
Whoa! So we can't play it.
They didn't even say anything controversial.
They didn't.
They literally just said don't. They literally said do not. They said there's going to be propaganda on both sides, and the main thing is to focus on humanitarian. Don't escalate war. That's
which is in my opinion, the only sane take, and that was Artemisia's take more or less too. Is it like, look, this is sick, right? The things that are happening are sick.
This is fucking ridiculous.
Whether or not the Tate brothers are human traffickers, which there's some evidence that they are, that is the same take here. It just is. As for George R.R. Martin and his attempts to sue ChatGPT, you just finish your freaking books, you fat fuck. I hate that I love these books. Because, and here's the thing too about it, actually someone asked me this on Twitter, is that like, well, how would ChatGPT know, of course, what he planned, or that it actually did figure out what he had planned, and he is angry that now he doesn't know what to do because the AI guessed right? It's like, well, it's not difficult for the AI to guess right, because have you ever watched Game of Thrones or read those books, Spoon?
I have not.
Okay. Have you heard of the War of the Roses?
Yes, I'm familiar with the War of the Roses.
Yes. As in a real historical thing
real historical event, yes.
The entirety of A Song of Ice and Fire is just a fan fiction about that conflict. So, you know, the TV show ended, it was trash and everyone hated it. But, we already know how it's going to end, is either he's going to die, or if he finishes it, fat, or if he does finish it, the Tyrells win, because the Tyrells, or their version in real life, were the ones that actually won in real life. So George, everyone already knows. Everyone already knows. Everyone has known for forever that because your entire book series is just a fan fiction of a real historical event, how it ends, the Tyrells win. We know. But speaking of before you die of fat, I do want to share something, and this is where I said I'm going to get in trouble. I don't care. I have this image saved on my laptop, and
by the way,
I'm glad I have it saved.
I can play it on Rumble, by the way, because I managed to download the video. The video is bizarrely still up on if you download the video.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is... Art from the 2006 George R. R. Martin hate calendar, spelled incorrectly. Order one now, only $250. Jets and Giants suck, go Eagles. Eli and Rex explore the Mirror Swamp every night. By that, I mean they anally R-word each other. Like Loris and Renly. Lemony, 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 lemony. 10 years, 10 fucking years since the last Tyrion chapter. No one likes wild cards. Wild cards is dumb. Stop writing wild cards. Do the right thing for your fans. Finish it. Finish the book, you absolute fucker. I really love this wall of text that has absolutely zero punctuation in it.
Looks like a black woman wrote it.
Fuck you, Germ. Next year, my fucking ass. Where are the chapters you wrote, you fucker? What you did to Arya? Why the fuck did you waste time with Cersei? Oh, she loves her kids and is a paranoid, spoiled, wannabe Machiavellian cunt. We already knew that about her, you fat fuck. Why would you waste all the time on the Kingsmoot when you don't even include it right? Why waste time on Bran and Sam when they both whine about their oaths every time they fart, which is all the fucking time? You even had good ideas in the Sparrows, and you don't even give us any new perspectives. Oh, Theon has a badass, pissed off uncle who's jealous of his even more badass older brother. Why do I give a crusted shit, you fat fuck? Why are you trolling your fans? Why did you waste so much time with Bran searching for Sansa? There is no fucking tension when we know where she is and have known for 500 pages. At least have some new fucking plot threads other than some half-hearted character development. Your strength is not your characters, it's in your plotting. Why did you not even resolve Arya's arc? And how the fuck can you mention offhanded that Davos was beheaded and not even follow up where the other chapters? Why the fuck did you only devote 3 chapters to Dorne? You resolve the entire arc halfway through the book, and then you bring Arianne back at the end just to watch her jerk off and reveal some neutered machinations. When the fuck is anything going to happen? Why don't you have Littlefinger rape Sansa already? We know it's going to happen. It's fucking coming. His manhood has been glistening wetly, which is a real line of text from A Song of Ice and Fire. His manhood glistened wetly. I'm not joking about that one. Since the end of Storm of Swords, you fat fucking Jesus fuck, I fucking hate you, and I only just got here. Do you know how pissed off I'd be? In 2005, I would train ravens to shit on your house, and all you, why the fuck are you wasting time on wild cards? You do not know what your fucking bread and butter is. Or was the HBO Advance so prodigious in girth? You just wanted to eat and drink and write more lesbian dom fiction with Cersei until you die. You better have fucking manuscripts in your gullet. Because when you die, people will be there to cut you after they turn over your house and find fucking nothing. Jesus, do you realize how goddamn ridiculous you've made my time spent? You said you had written chapters and chapters. Did you just throw them aside because Tyrion learning wizardry and hiding out in Hogwarts was too awesome for print? Or because your rolls of fat mashed the key on your old-ass computer, crushed the fucker, and now you can't remember a fucking thing? Do you realize that Tolkien was fucking done inventing languages in the time it's taking you to finish this shit? Do you know how much it takes to make me miss Daenerys after all the lazy shit I had to put up with in a Game of Thrones and Crown of Kings? I hate you, you miserable old bastard! I hate you!
That was probably the highest accomplishments of that person's life.
I love the unfiltered rage of this poster. And that's why I've had it saved for 10 years. Or it's not been about 10, around 10 years. There is my mirth for the evening, though. It's gonna get... But let's look at some other things that are stupid. Anyway, yeah, go ahead and try and sue ChatGPT. Why don't you actually just try to finish it before you die of fat, George? By Juan Williams, opinion contributor to The Hill. Joe
Juan
Biden
Williams
is our third black president.
Hold on a second. Juan.
Juan, yeah. Well,
a guy by the name of Juan.
Oh, you never seen Juan Williams? Here we go. Close enough. Copy.
That motherfucker is Mexican as shit.
I think he's...
That motherfucker is Mexican.
25 years ago,
fucking, he looks like a fucking border version of Larry Elder. Fuck it, I don't care.
He does look a bit like... It was sort of same facial structure.
Yes.
25 years ago, novelist Toni Morrison famously labeled Bill Clinton as the first black president.
Why is that?
Oh my... Hang on.
Is it because he was cheating on his wife and fucking hoes?
Is that why?
Yes, that's why. Oh, and he played a saxophone on Arsenio Hall.
I know I sent this to you, but I don't have it. I don't have it up.
He's
but
not black. Get the fuck out of
there
here.
was a very funny image of Toni Morrison famously wrote, "Why
He's
the
Mexican.
cage
I'm
bird
telling you,
sings."
he's fucking Mexican.
Right, like that's one of her most famous works. I know why the cage bird sings. Well, somebody did an edit that says, "I know why the ceiling bird sings," or the ceiling bird chirps.
Because no one replaces the fucking battery is why.
Because no one replaced the battery is exactly why.
And no one can fucking hear the bloody thing either.
The first actual black president, Barack Obama, thanks for reminding us, would come later, but Morrison's memorable one-liner still gets laughs. It was a smart way to say that Clinton broke new ground. He broke new ground! It took 10 years to make. Excuse me. By elevating black leaders and policies that help black people. By Morrison's standard, President Joe Biden is our nation's third black president. But Biden's 2024 campaign is worried about getting black voters to the polls because their lives are demonstrably worse off in every measurable manner. Maybe that's why? Do you think maybe that's why there's not a lot of enthusiasm from black voters for Biden, who says you either you can vote for Trump, or if you vote, what was it again? How'd the quote go? I'm having a Biden moment. Me or Trump, or you ain't black, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So insensitive. Last week, the Biden campaign put $25 million into a radio advertising campaign to pump up enthusiasm amongst black and Latino voters with the message, Joe and Kamala are getting it done for us, and that's the facts. No, that's not the facts. You are worse off economically in the United States today as a black or Latino person than you were under Trump.
You're worse off as an American citizen, never mind fucking trying to fight along racial lines. Jesus Christ.
Right. This comes after former President Trump made the absurd, provably false claim to talk radio show host.
If you have to say that, you can tell it's not true.
Last month, that polls show his support among blacks has gone up 4 to 5 times since he was indicted on 4 election interferences.
I wonder why.
For election interference in Georgia, and police took his mugshot. It did go up, though.
Yes.
Demonstrably. You can... This is... We truly live.
Also, if he was only up by like a point and now he's up by like 5, then that's objectively true.
Where people can't agree on basic facts. That's a basic, unquestionable fact.
Yeah.
That support for Trump is up in the black community comparative to where it was in 2020 or 2016. That's absolutely true. So you can seethe about it, but it doesn't make the facts untrue. The black community is so different for me since that mugshot was taken, Trump said, with no shame at tying black people to criminal process. But that's also true. Again, facts make you upset. You live in a post-fact world. It's all about feelings over here.
I like the way that these fucking morons have screamed for years the justice system is unfair to black people. And then yes, and when they see that
Trump says it.
And yes, but when they see that same thing happens to a billionaire and he's white, they make it like as a black people can't go, "Oh, I was unfairly prosecuted, so was he." As if black people are too stupid to see this. Like, it's just kind of insulting to black people, you know what I said?
But as William brings up in the chat accurately, we as people on the conservative side of things do have a tendency to bring up this imagine if the roles were reversed thing. And that doesn't work on leftists because they don't care about principles.
That and they can't think.
Power. And they only care about power. At the end of the day, how did I almost became an Irish power? Like my accent.
Power is how the Irish would say power.
I know. It almost went there, weirdly. Even if Trump's claim is true, it's true that black enthusiasm for Biden, especially among young black voters, is sagging. Oh, so you... What? Then what? So you admit in the next sentence that it's true, and then say, but even if it's true, but admit to the reality that Biden's support is down and Trump's support is up. And that concern is the reason for the advertising campaign aimed at black voters. In the ads, Biden is...
I like the way that you have to aim advertising at getting people to vote for you. That just sounds so fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
If you had a good freaking slogan or actually think something to fall back on, that might tell you that the reason you need to advertise is because you fucking suck.
Because you have no support.
Yes.
Biden is reminding black voters that he named the first black woman to the Supreme Court, Justice Ketanji Brown.
And what the fuck has she done?
And what did Biden specifically say regarding this? He said, it's going to be a black woman. He doesn't care about Ketanji Brown Jackson. And I think... And I know I'm not alone in this. That's incredibly insulting to black people. He didn't, and black women. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care which one of you is. Which one of you it is. It just has to be one who meets these criteria, checks the boxes, right?
He literally only did that because of the one guy in.
It's pandering.
But it's because of Clyde something or other. The chat will know. He was one of the guys in North or South Carolina. I can't remember. I want to say North, but I'm not sure. He's Give me a second.
Who can't say what a woman is exactly? Ketanji Brown Jackson. That's been her biggest contribution to the Supreme Court, is that she doesn't know what a woman is.
I think it's James Clyburn.
Name sounds really familiar.
Let me see.
Yeah, in other words, reality ugly and all present itself.
Yeah, he was the.
Say something to the effect of, I disagree.
He's the assistant Democratic leader in the House of Representatives. James E. Clyburn. Yeah, he's the one who just said, I'll get you the black support if you put a black woman on the Supreme Court. Which should tell you they're the identitarian as shit.
What? It doesn't, he's right. That's all that matters. Well, that's what the Democrats certainly think. And there is a very...
Do you know what's amazing to me, though?
Realistic aspect about that is that black people voted for Obama, like 99% voted for Obama.
Yes.
Now, Obama's opponents weren't very good.
If you're Asian, you can vote for Asian. You can vote for Asian, totally fine. Black, you vote for black. If you're Latino, you go for Latino. But if you vote for a white person because you're white, oh, that's fucking problematic. Even though every other fucking race is the exact same damn thing.
Well, and this is a fundamental
fucking
problem,
retarded.
as always with democracy.
Everyone can be identitarian except white people. Do you want to know why that is?
Problem with democracy, people always vote for what benefits themselves, not what benefits the country.
Do you know why we can't do it?
Oh, white people bad.
No, that's not the reason why we do it. Because if we can do it, we would kick the fuck out of everybody else. Because there's more of us, and we're better than everybody else. And screw all of you, I don't care. That is fucking true. You can suck my dick if you disagree.
Why the left, this part's crazy too, right? So the left will say, great replacement. That's a conspiracy theory. That needs to be shut down. And
why is there 10 million people in the country?
And then in the same breath, they will say it's such a good thing that white people are becoming a minority in America.
Did you see that clip of Jimmy Fallon several years ago who just said, like, there's a minority of white people in, like, 20 years.
And that's a good thing? Yeah.
And then the audience starts to clap. And there's, like, this split second of his face, like, what the fuck? Like, why are you cheering this?
Well,
like, yeah, no
shit.
shit.
This is a good thing, too.
No, he doesn't.
Jimmy Fallon?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. He's a
No, he doesn't. All these people, these fucking people, I'm telling you, they say this shit behind the scenes. They are not fans of it. They're sellouts, not stupid.
We're going to see some of that as we get into the Israel-Palestine stuff tonight, because the powder keg has been lit. And a number of mask-off moments I've seen in the last weekend is
insane.
Astonishing. People like, two people I thought would never agree on anything. Ethan Klein and Ben Shapiro. And Ethan Klein straight up called Ben Shapiro, said that he would be a Nazi if he was living in 1940s Germany. Has said that about Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Are completely aligned on this issue for some reason.
I wonder why. Do they possibly have anything in common?
Yeah, they do.
One's called Shapiro, the other one's Klein. What of them could possibly fucking mean?
Oh, did you see the clip with Hassan arguing with Ethan? We're gonna watch it later.
Yes,
oh, wow, nephew is in trouble with his new uncle. Anywho, it's not in his ads, but last week Biden's vice president, the first black vice president, she's not black. She's mixed. And so was Obama, by the way. So how can they always claim this? The first black vice president.
Wait, can we just say that Obama...
It's half Indian.
Can we just be honest for a second with regards to Obama? I find it so weird that black people legitimately can't stand black people who speak like Obama. As a general rule.
Really? Listen up.
Right? Because they sound white. I've legitimately heard many black people say this. But for some reason, when it comes to Obama, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can act as white as shit, and no one will just say, like, that guy sounds like a... You know what I want to say. Certain C word.
Well, you actively
It's ridiculous.
And you will actively see that in black communities, and you can hear it from people from African Americans who grew up around these communities, but are highly intelligent, like
I'm more African than freaking Kamala Harris, by the way.
Right, by definition. But Thomas Sowell and others similar to him have pointed out that there is an active pressure within American black communities to encourage young people to not have proper elocution, because then you're speaking white. It's in families and it's in their schools. You get bullied if you talk white. You get bullied.
Yes.
AKA being able to
a standard
illocute properly. Speaking of, I was actually shocked that Hassan knew a word. I don't remember what word it was. We'll get to it when it was like ostensibly or something. He used a word. I was like, wow, I can't believe Hassan knew that word. He seems to be about like 50 IQ guy to me. But it's obviously there's a movement of that. Like, you don't talk white. You have to talk black, which is, I mean, it's a different thing in Europe, obviously, but there's BBC Pigeon. I could bring it up right now. You want to see any article from BBC Pigeon? No evidence say Nigeria president forge college record.
I can't believe that's actually a real website.
No savvy something. They see Nigerians as certificate forgers. Oda Tins Peter Obi talk about Atiku versus Tinubu matter. Faces of some of DPPO Hamas take hostages from Israel. Like, this is a real thing. This is not a joke website. This is legitimately BBC Pigeon. It's just BBC articles written in Pigeon. Oh. There are now 3 black people serving in the Senate. Butler, Senator Cory Booker, we're going to talk about him in a minute, and Senator
what do you do now?
Well, everyone has their opinion on Israel Palestine. Cory Booker's got his opinion. Who is currently running for his party's presidential nomination, and is, I don't think Tim Scott has a snowball's chance in hell, but I do like the things he does. In the House, there are 58 black members, including House Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries, the first black person to serve as top party leader in Congress. There have only ever been 3 black women in the Senate. First, Carol Moseley Braun told the story of boarding an elevator in 1993 with North Carolina Senator Jesse Helms. Helms had vociferously, opposed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. You know who else did?
Which one?
You know who else has opposed civil rights acts in the past?
Joe Biden?
Joe Biden. Oh, weird.
That's kind of based,
though. The third black president has opposed civil rights legislation? Weird. The third black president.
Yes, the decolonial thing with BLM. That was kind of weird.
Oh, God, there's weird stuff going on with that now, too.
Yeah, I can tell you what decolonialism looks like in terms of South Africa. It doesn't end well.
Savagely disparaged the civil rights movement, including Martin Luther King, and tried to filibuster the renewal of voting rights. This is totally unrelated, but I automatically put doctor in front of his name. I'm so used to doing that in academia because it's like a sign of respect.
It's a sign you need to read normal books.
No, it's just my brain's like, oh, Dr. King. See, I did it. Is that Martin Luther King had a doctorate, therefore you always refer to him as doctor. According to Moseley Braun, Helms, quote, saw me standing there. He started to sing, "Oh, I wish I was in the land of cotton." Holy shit, if he did that. Whoa. Bruh. And he looked at Senator Orrin Hatch from Utah and said, "I'm going to make her cry. I'm going to sing Dixie until she cries." Do you believe that this happened?
No.
In 1993. You think this happened in 1993?
No.
I'm just a little suspect on that. I mean, it's so, what an insane claim to make. And also, can you even imagine that happening? You're in an elevator and a fellow congressperson next to you starts singing Dixie? Maybe Hillary Clinton's mentor, the Grand Cyclops himself.
Robert Byrd.
Robert C. Byrd. Maybe he would have done that, maybe. It just sounds suspect to me. In contrast to that insulting treatment just 30 years ago, which I don't believe, Biden can talk about naming the first black Secretary of Defense, former General Lloyd J. Austin. But look at all these first black this, first black that. Were they put into these positions because they were suited for the job, or because, by Biden's own admission, he wanted to choose a black person for that
They're definitely
station?
only chosen for that reason, because that's the first thing they tout.
Right. Biden also stripped Confederate names from military bases. Biden also talked about racial jungles. What is wrong with you, Wanwood? Like, where is it? What's this blind spot about? Oh, because it's not about truth. It's about power, and you say that all the time,
It's about simping for your fucking side, that's it.
It's not about truth. It's about power. And in all the negotiations over the debt ceiling, Biden put his trust in a black woman, Shalanda Young, Biden's director of the Office of Management and Budget, and then the first Black person at that job. How has that been going? How's the economy going in the United States? Ooh, is it that people can't afford housing? We read this article, I think last week, 99%.
Had more of a sane take on Israel than Shapiro, which is honestly, I can sort of believe.
I haven't seen Chunk's take. Maybe we'll look that up. I didn't see it. But Shapiro appears to have lost his damn mind.
Oh yeah, he's gone war hawking nuts.
Yeah, he's been having a like
melty,
a complete melty on Twitter for days now.
Yes.
I always get it wrong, Lance. You're right. He was an exalted Cyclops. I'm sorry.
Sorry, we're not really familiar with KKK ranks. Not really our forte.
He also is a piece of shit who seriously aided to the state that West Virginia is currently.
Spoonage, Cornwallis, Rutherford, Hickabotham III. That's a hell of a title.
Sure is. Apart from elevating Black people, Biden's record includes real help for Black America. Like what? Biden has achieved the lowest Black unemployment rate on record. Oh, you mean coming out of COVID? When you let people go back to work. Yeah. How is that unemployment rate now, by the way? Oh, it could also be that the unemployment rate is lower because people are desperate for literally any job because the economy's in the gutter. Weird. He also lowered the cost of prescription drugs and hearing aids. That he went back on that. Did you forget? You want to forget that he went back? He completely went 180 degrees, went 180 on the on insulin. Want to mention that one? No? Interesting.
Oh, hold on a sec, because Limited Guy asked me, is anyone else having problems sending a super chat? Because apparently his one is just stuck in perpetuity. But for some reason he can send a sticker one.
Super sticker? That's really...
Yeah, because...
Lamented, there's some things that YouTube is very, very aggressive about.
So he just said testing. That's the first thing I asked him as well. Is like, what were you saying? Because I also thought that, and then when he said like that, like, oh, okay, that's strange. Grand
Wizard Cyclops, what the hell is the KKK's rating system? Stupid. It's as always, it's weird esoteric shit.
I'm assuming it's like based on some gods or mythical.
Yeah,
creatures.
It's Gnosticism. It's always Gnosticism. All the crazy shit that comes out of the world is Gnostic. Not all of it, but a lot of it.
And Yizero Chai.
Oh, Aiden's talking about Gnosticism again. Sorry, guys. I can't help myself. He can point to an increase in Black enrollment and government-sponsored healthcare plans and a double-digit reduction in Black child poverty. I don't really think he can to any of that. I don't have those fact checks on top of my head, but because you got 3 of them wrong, I bet the other 3 are wrong. Last week, he cut $9 billion more in student loan debt. Oh, but remember, the promise was all student loan debt.
So like 400
debt was going to be removed. Not $9 billion, all of it, which would be like $400 billion. So that's not really a win for him now, is it? Because people voted for him because he said he would remove all student loans.
You gotta be fucking stupid to think he was actually gonna be able to do that.
No shit, because that's absurdist. He has fought to cut the student loan burdens, which disproportionately weigh on low incomes and a large share of Black students. But he didn't do that, did he? He didn't do that, did he? Biden failed to get past GOP obstruction on police reform and voter suppression. Oh, you mean...
Oh, come on. Voter suppression is not a real thing.
Voter suppression is not a real thing. Up. Let's be clear.
Voter suppression is we want to have non-legals freaking vote. Like, come on.
Yeah, we want to cheat. But we want to cheat. We want non-citizens to vote. Yeah. But he took on Republicans standing in the way... I think you mean Republicans standing in the way of new laws to stop voter suppression. He took it on... Like, why can none of these people are journalists, not a single one of them can write a grammatically correct article. Barstool, like, I'm less surprised by that. But, Jesus Christ. He bluntly asked them, quote, if they want to be on the side of Dr. King or George Wallace.
George Wallace, actually.
Dr. King was also a communist. Okay?
Was George Wallace the one who said segregation now is segregation tomorrow, segregation forever?
I don't recall, but
I think it was him.
Accurate. Biden has lived up to the pledge he made on the night when he declared victory in the presidential election. Standing next to Harris, he told Black voters, "You've always had my back and I'll always have yours. Except those racial jungles, huh?"
Since fucking when?
What about Corn Pop? I thought he was a bad dude. Silly. Now Biden often tells audiences they should not compare him to the Almighty, but to the alternative. Has he said, what is this? Not compare him to the Almighty. What, to God?
Or Trump.
What the fuck does this mean?
The alternative to the Democrats is the MAGA Republicans.
This is a strange tweet, Dominic. Don't compare me to the Almighty, compare me to the alternative. What does that mean? To Satan?
It means compare me to Trump.
No. My dad used to say, don't compare me to the Almighty, in caps, implying
yeah,
God.
So don't compare me to
God.
God.
To the alternative, so compare me to Satan.
No, man.
Your dad said that?
No. He said don't contrast me to God. Contrast me to the opposition, which is Trump.
What's the opposite of God?
Trump. No, man.
Satan.
No. For heaven's sakes, he said don't contrast me to God. He means in place of God, the opposite would be Satan in his analogy. That's his freaking point.
Okay. That's a strange tweet. That's a strange tweet that I get where you're coming from. And then he elaborates that the alternative to Democrats is the MAGA Republicans. But that also means he's saying the Democrats are God.
Yes.
And MAGA Republicans are Satan.
Yes.
This is crazy. I've never seen this tweet.
It's also very stupid.
It's really insane is what it is. It's unhinged. This is
apparently
nuts.
You're being silly.
How could you say that? Whoa, okay. This is just illustrative of the state.
Apparently you can't understand the statement.
Yeah, apparently I can. It's perfectly legible to him. Treat it on a shop at a pressure, right?
Yes, don't compare me to the Almighty. It's basically don't compare me to God.
Compare me to Satan. Yes.
No, it's don't compare me to God. Don't compare me to the Almighty. He's saying I'm God, look at the opposition.
Compare me to the alternative.
Yes.
Which is Satan.
Yes, he's saying if I am God, who is my opposition? That's why he says I'm God, the opposition is Satan. No, for goodness sake, you're the only one who thinks this way. Everyone else can see I'm right.
Women can't analogy. Am I really missing this, guys?
Yes.
Damn, Aiden can't understand. Well, I really am, I guess. Though.
If he's saying don't compare me to God, he's saying if I am God, who is my alternative? That's why he's saying compare me to the alternative. That's why his analogy, the evil ones are the Republicans. That's what he means.
I don't like it.
How do you not understand that?
Yeah, I don't know how I don't. It's for some reason it's not computing with me. It's not well. It's a Joe Biden quote, so that's not totally surprising. But yeah, that's not. I don't know. I started thinking about Gnosticism, and I got put into that headspace, right?
Who's more saying Andrew Klavan or Shapiro? Klavan easily.
Shapiro's absolutely lost the plot right now. Judge backs Miami-Dade teacher in trans student case. This is very cool and based. And he says something pretty interesting here.
Moment.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bird-brained. I was thinking about Gnosticism and I got distracted. Administrative law judge Monday backed the Miami-Dade County teacher who reportedly told a transgender student that I'm a Christian and my God made no mistakes, while refusing to call the student by preferred pronouns based. Judge John Van Langeham told the State Education Practices Commission, which can discipline teachers, should exonerate Yojari E. Mandare on allegations of wrongdoing stemming from the December 2019 incident.
You know, it's also an insult to the parents' genitals.
Stupid. The Miami-Dade, it's insulting to everybody. It's because it's all make-believe, and we all know it's make-believe.
Yeah, by the way, I'm doing a video on this tomorrow. Because I realized why...
This?
No, not this. Like, why do the Troons piss me the fuck off?
Because they want you to play pretend with them.
Yes,
and I don't want to play pretend.
Yes, but I've noticed that whenever we discuss this in the press and in the media, it's always focused on a more general societal level. On the case,
the chat's hilarious. Sorry.
Some of the more like how does this impact society as a whole, and always from the scientific biological point of view, which always just fucking pisses me off because it's like discussing Matt Walsh's documentary. You know, the fact that it even has to be made just tells me we're so fucking stupid. That like it's like one of those things that why are we even talking about this? The fact that you even tell me this tells me our society is incredibly dumb.
Yeah,
and so
it's fake. It's legitimate bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't want to play pretend. Oh, did you see Blair White's debate on the stupid clickbait channel that she was on?
Which one?
With a bunch of other transgenders. You know what? Let me go pull that up real quick after we do this. Because one of the troons on that panel threatened Blair's life, and they cut it out of the final video. Of course
Why?
they did. Oh, why do you think? It's a black transgender person saying, "I've got my boys outside waiting for you," according to Blair. Now, there's no proof, right? But how do I feel basic awareness? I don't know. Woman, I guess. Anywho.
She's a woman.
Yeah, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes things go over my bird brain, I suppose. The Miami-Dade County School District terminated Mundere, science teacher. Of course, it's always a science teacher, because who else? Who else wouldn't fall in love? In June 2020, after a complaint about the incident, Van Laneham wrote, "The incident started when everyone's name in this is difficult to pronounce. Mundere reprimanded the student who was identified at birth. He wasn't identified at.
I hate that. That's such a cringy fucking way to say that.
Because you know what they're going off of is this 0.001% of children who have ambiguous genitalia. Crazy.
It's so cringy.
Identified at birth and in school records as female. Okay, so yeah, it's a female. For what the judge described as routine classroom horseplay, the student then privately told Mundere that he was transgender, identified as male, and wanted her to use masculine pronouns when addressing him. I hate this pronoun stuff. It makes these sentences impossible to comprehend.
Yes, agreed.
Mundere told, this is CBS, Mundere said she could not do that because of her Christian beliefs, which led the student to reply, "I think God made a mistake," Van Laneham wrote.
That's incredibly insulting.
"I'm a Christian, and my God made no mistake," according to today's decision. Mundere was accused of imposing her religious views on the student. No, she wasn't. She's just not going to play pretend with you. She's not going to play pretend with you. But Van Laneham refuted that allegation and wrote that the case, quote, "is not about proselytizing, but about transgender ideology." Van Laneham referred to the student by the pseudonym Pat. Ooh! Ooh! Oof status! Ooh! Oof status, man. Off the charts, referring to you as Pat. It's that, this is it. Oof, I thought it was me, oof status. It's oof size. Oh, as Pat. That's not correct. Try again, Google. That was probably my mistake. I'm extra bird brain today. Oof. That's a large oof size there. Are you aware of its Pat? Are you aware of this character?
No.
Okay. So in the 90s, there was a character, an ongoing repeated character on Saturday Night Live called Pat. This was the character, and the whole joke was that no one knew what gender they were. Comedy that proves love is a many-gendered thing. It's Pat. Every sketch about this character was people just not knowing what to call Pat. So to call the student Pat, it's not lost on me, okay? It's not lost on me. Other documents in the case refer to the student with initials SS. Save our ship. Given that Mundere made no attempt to force Pat...
Save our souls.
See it now. Is it save our souls or save our ship? I took a test about that not long ago, and I got it wrong.
Save our souls, yeah.
Conform to or even acknowledge any Christian doctrine, the allegation that she imposed her personal religious views on Pat is untrue, Van Laneham wrote. At most, Mundere expressed her view that God is inerrant. I don't think I've ever seen that word before. Inerrant. I should know it. I don't. Again, I'm extra bird brain. Which is about as anodyne and theological, about as an anodyne and theological statement as one could make. Yeah. Further, she did only so in defense of the God she worships. Such cannot constitute a disciplinable offense in a country whose foundational principles include religious freedom. Well said. In a footnote, Van Laneham referred to a new secular faith of transgenderism. Advocates of transgenderism can be as doctrinaire as religious zealots these days, the judge wrote.
No shit.
As this case demonstrates, adhering to the traditional view that gender is biologically determined can get a person excommunicated from a job in this instance. Let's have an 07, let's have a round of applause for Judge Van Laneham for calling it out for what it is.
Judge female?
Yeah, this is a woman.
Wow.
Oh no. Is
you
it?
sure?
Yeah. I'm getting it confused with John. No, the woman, Mundray, the woman who was terminated that's a
Hey,
the
John Van
teacher's
Hanen.
name.
Ah, it's the teacher's
John
a
Van
man.
Hanen. Well, maybe he
Or
identifies
the
as
judge is a
I don't
man.
know. No, I don't. Also, he pointed out that to a law in Governor Ron DeSantis that Governor Ron DeSantis, the legislator, approved this year that established a policy for schools that, quote, a person's sex is a mutable biological trait, and that it is false to ascribe to a person a pronoun that does not correspond to sex. In short, had the incident with Pat occurred today instead of 3 years ago, Mundray would have been protected against the significant loss she suffered simply for refusing to do what the law now deems, quote, false, the judge wrote. A complainant filed against Mundray by the state, said that the Miami-Dade School District conducted an investigation after receiving a complaint from a parent of the student. It said the investigation found probable cause that Mundray violated school board policies leading to termination. On or about December 20th of 2019, respondent Mundray imposed her personal religious views on SS, a 6th grade student, the complaint said. When SS informed respondent that he identified as a boy, respondent told SS that God created him as a girl and God does not make mistakes, or words to that effect. How? This is a legal document. This is a legal document. How did you fuck this up? It's affect in this case. It's not E, it's an A. Holy shit. What is happening with every article tonight? And this one's from the legal filing. Good lord. Ugh. Causing SS to become upset and or cry. I have a problem with lawyer. Breathe. Allegations against Mundray included that she was guilty of personal conduct that seriously reduced her effectiveness as an employee of the school district, that she violated principles of personal conduct. The complaint said, when probable cause is found, the education commissioner is required by state law to pursue allegations. Ultimately, whatever. We get the point. It's cool. Did I just misgender the judge? I sure did. But I corrected myself. Dear, yeah, they had a bird moment here. This is not effect, it's affect. Please get it straight. Don't get it twisted. I'm gonna read all the super chats at the end of the acceptable segment of this stream. And if you think this acceptable stuff is a little bit spicy, there's a reason we're gonna have to go to Rumble here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, because if the freaking Tate video got taken down, and he didn't fucking say anything.
Former CIA director calls for the assassination of a Republican senator.
Yep. Come again?
Yep.
That's not contentious at all.
Okay. The one-time football coach at Auburn University, who still goes by the nickname of Coach to his colleagues, Tuberville, seems to have riled up former CIA director and retired General Michael Hayden for refusing to back down from a decision Hayden doesn't like, according to the New York Post. You see, Tuberville stands in the way of a fast-tracked formal appointment of 300 military nominees in the face of the escalating war between Israel and Hamas, which we'll get more into, obviously. The reason he is doing so seems rather irrelevant compared to the necessity of completing the process to Hayden Guardian. Tuberville refuses to budge, however. So committed is he to his stance against an existing Pentagon policy that pays for troops out-of-state travel for reproductive services, including abortion and in vitro fertilization, the Post reported. These held confirmation for pertinent roles up for months, which they did. What's Hayden's solution? They should simply kill Tuberville.
That's
Nathalie Jacoby says, should Tommy Tuberville be removed from his committee, yes or no? Michael Hayden responds, how about the human race?
They seem kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to the story. This is just crazy. Twitter, after this stuff has started to happen, where's the Rumble link? It's pinned here in the chat. This Israel-Palestine stuff has just brought out the craziest, most vile, murderous, dehumanization aspects of the human species, that it has actively harmed the side of me that believes in, that I have always, I said this on Twitter, well, I have, so in research, in human research, right, human communication or social science, psychology research, we generally split what the research is focused on into two camps: light side research or dark side research. Dark side research is really focused on the worst of humanity. Why do people do bad things? That kind of stuff. Light side research is primarily focused with things like altruism, which is unique to humans. Nobody else, no other species of animal has this altruistic tendency that humans do. The animals can help each other. It's usually familial stuff, aiding their offspring. But humans will aid total strangers. That's very, very rare in the animal kingdom.
Yes.
And so my interest has always been like on this thing that is unique to humans, because I'm a human. I guess I focus on human scholarship, not on something that is common and exists in all animals. Violent, horribleness, and callousness. But if you look at the totality of research, dark side research is something like 10 times more common than light side research.
Because it's more fun?
Because it's more interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's more interesting. Because let's see what we can get people to do. Let's see what we can get people to admit to. Yeah, it's more fun. It is more interesting. I'll admit it. It's more interesting. I don't think it
sounds more psychotic.
It's more psychotic. Right? Well, is it more interesting? Again, I think altruism is more interesting because it's something unique to people. But
Ayn Rand would be so disappointed.
Oh, I know. But still, there's way, way more dark side research than there is light side research. And I've always considered myself someone who leans towards looking into light side research, even though, yeah, like everybody else, I find dark side research interesting as well. But I want the light side research stuff. I want that. I want people to not be evil. And in the last couple of days, it's just like, is actually everybody evil? Is social media making this worse, or is it just exposing the true nature of people? I don't know the answer. We'll get in more. So we talked about last week that there was a teen who stabbed and killed a leftist activist. Lawyer says teen wasn't looking for trouble when he allegedly stabbed innocent New York City man to death at 4 a.m. He was having a very bad day, so he allegedly killed a stranger. It sounds like Meursault in Albert Camus' novel The Stranger. In The Stranger. I never know that name. I haven't read that book in a long time, not since high school. Meursault is in jail for murdering an Arab for no reason. When he says, "Since we're all going to die, it's obvious that when and how don't matter." That's nihilism. I believe there's no reason. All brute chant. This is why, by the way, I love the Western Journal. These people, the journalists here write good stuff. Art mimics life. A young man identified as Brian Dowling was walking down a New York City street, when for no reason he allegedly decided to murder a 31-year-old poet and social activist Ryan Carson with a knife. Surveillance video showed the man identified as Dowling doubled back to spit in the face of Carson's girlfriend, Claudia Morales, which we did cover last week, but she started a GoFundMe for herself and their friends,
to get off work.
Not for him, and to go off work on vacation, not for his funeral, for them to have to go on vacation. Crazy. But according to Dowling's lawyer, his client is a good kid who wasn't out looking for trouble. He didn't do nothing, did he?
It's like a lot of this is like a level of infantilization.
He stabbed him in cold blood. Count Dankula made a video about this on his second channel, I think earlier today or maybe yesterday, but he brought up something that I thought was completely right, which is fascinating. It doesn't matter if you were like laughing at this or lamenting this. What he found astonishing is the fact that that the left just circled the wagons to defend it. Just to be like, including all of his friends and family, right?
Why are you
like
surprised by that?
And I'm surprised by the inhumanity, but I've made a video about this before.
Why?
I'll bring it back up there because there's a study that I covered. I really should have acquitted this to memory, and I have a lot of studies acquitted to memory, but I don't have this one in terms of the citation. But they found that leftists care more about space rocks than someone who disagrees with them politically, and that's just this made manifest. They don't give a shit. They care about looking like they care, and that's all. That's all.
It's almost like leftists are horrible, evil creatures.
It is a serious morality issue at play, and we're going to see some of that, by the way, as we get into the stuff that we're going to have to move over to Rumble for. But yeah, how crazy. How crazy. He didn't do nothing. He wasn't looking for trouble. That's why he stabbed a man in cold blood in front of his girlfriend in the middle of the night over nothing.
If he didn't do nothing, I would like to know what something looks like.
Yeah, exactly. This one's a little bit of a little white pill. Christian baker Jack Phillips prepares for return to Supreme Court. It's Colorado Supreme Court after refusing to make the transgender cake.
Based.
So Christian Baker in Colorado is prepared to go to the Supreme Court for a second time after being sued for refusing to make a gender transition birthday cake. He told the Daily
Why the hell do you need to make that?
Oh, you know why? Because it's not about the children, is it? This is all about the parents. This is feeding their ego. They need their gender transition cake.
No, not that. These fucking people. Why do they? Okay, this is just my opinion. The people, like, I'm sort of spoiling, and then I'm going to say this in the video. But one of the reasons why I think people gravitate towards this ideology, and I'm just going to say it, I'm going to be very blunt here. The people who gravitate towards this ideology are pathetic losers, and they're unimpressive specimens of human beings. They have nothing going for them. They have no skills. They have nothing, and they suck as people. They're failures at life.
Uh-oh, physiognomy check. Whoopsie.
Freaking gonna say it right now. Don't know, don't care. That is my opinion, because these people suck. Because they have nothing. They do. And this is the thing as well that I've noticed. If you look at these people, if you look at the sense of arrogance that these people wield, there is this if you look at like royal families back in the day, they at least have massive families that earn wealth or had like a noble bloodline. They did something to earn that. These fucking people walk around with the exact same freaking attitude, but they've done nothing to earn it. And yet they also parade around with this thing of, oh, look, we are oppressed victims. You have an enormous amount of fucking privilege. You've done nothing to earn it, and you still walk around like you need to be pandered to. It's like, this is the reason why everyone hates you. Because everything about you is a fucking fraud. That's why people hate your fucking guts.
Kind of fascinating to what we're going to be jumping over to in a couple of minutes here. But there's been a series of studies that have come out of Israel that have examined something called perpetual in-group victimhood orientation. I've talked about it a lot, aka PIVO. And the left is just riddled with it. It is a tendency to see yourself as a victim in all cases. And when you see yourself as a victim, you demand money. You feel like entitled to demand money from the government, to demand money from other people, to demand gibs, if it were, as you will. And I think that it's just an endemic philosophy in the left. And what I'm upset about is...
It's not like the modern state of women.
Shori all 2018, Shori SCH, I think, hang on, Shori, I think it's SCYOR et al. And it's, well, I can just, Scholar, help me, perpetual in-group victimhood orientation. Perpetual in-group victimhood orientation is Shori, SCHORIEAL-EYAL et al. 2017. That's the only study that's really been done on it. There's been some other stuff, but nothing. Why has this instrument not been applied to left versus right political disagreements? Because I think you're going to explain everything. If you just apply... Why am I not doing it? Oh, because I can't get the right samples. But that needs to be done.
Anyway, someone says, why don't you do it?
I just collected research, so I'm very happy with my research. I got to analyze data for the first time.
Tell us how I really feel. I'll do it tomorrow. Because I have half the script typed up. Because I was talking to a whole bunch of people about it.
Yeah. Jack Phillips beat a previous lawsuit at the High Court in 2018 after he declined to make a cake for a gay wedding. This is the gay cake guy. But was sued again in March 2021 by a transgender lawyer, Autumn Scardina. And that's, when I said physiognomy check, look at this, Finn.
Okay.
That's a man, baby.
This friggin' jawline is one of them.
Obviously a man. I mean, I'm sorry, like, oh, get your jawline shaved down. Holy crap. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, you're a man, okay?
That's like one of our rugby players.
I have no problem, by the way. If transgender people are polite to me, if you're a friend, if you're a nice person, I have no problem using. So we both know we're playing pretend, but it is that kind of sentiment, right, that I just expressed, which has allowed these things to get to where they are. Is it not?
Yeah.
So
that's the thing that people don't seem to understand is that you're essentially the manifestation of a Trojan horse. That's the thing people don't want to admit. It's like, oh, look, I have no problem with gay people. Like, yes, I have no problem with gay individuals, but as a group, you are used to do fuck shit and fuck with the population. That's the thing.
Talk about the truth of this case, right? in the first case, the gay cake case, they went, it was like some activists, and they went all over Colorado to
find one
every
that
single
doesn't
baker
do
that
it.
they could, and asked them to bake a gay cake for their wedding. And they found one guy who said no, and then they cried about it and screamed that it was unfair, it was unjust.
Of all the fucking people you found one, you just wanted to make an example of something.
They found one guy, of course, because they want to punish him for not ascribing to their ideology.
I don't even think it's that, actually.
You think it's in any way some kind of fucking just random happenstance error that a transgender lawyer asked him to bake a cake for a gender transition? No. This was a setup. It's ridiculous. They wanted to go, this person, Autumn Scardina, wanted to go after him, wanted to punish him, wanted to sue him. Doesn't really give a damn. It's just a vindictive cunt, which is the other thing that I found in all my research about the leftist mentality. It is based predominantly, and this is from research, not on my kind of like, not on just something that I think. When we looked at the research of what typifies people who ascribe to a leftist ideology, it is predominantly, first and foremost, envy and jealousy. First and foremost, envy and jealousy, and then hatred. So, like, just which is a related emotion. These people hate you, and they want to hurt you.
Oh my god! Just put this up for a moment. Oh god, just watch that. This I have no words.
We got the gist of this. They tried to sue him again. This Korean didn't work. Is this real?
Israel.
Yeah, but
there we go.
Okay.
Oh
well,
god.
Zelensky's Jewish, so
yeah.
You know, we had two thumbnails. Spoon made a thumbnail for this video. I made a thumbnail for it. Mine was of Zelensky seething. That picture we showed last week with his face photoshopped on the kid with his like neck veins bulging out.
Yeah.
I am Zelensky right now. I am forgotten. Oh, big seething mad. I guarantee from Zell right now. Oh well. Bye.
Let's be real for a second, shall we? That man is a puppet. He was never in charge of the Ukrainian forces. He was never in charge of anything. He was there as a figurehead to rinse money. And everybody knows that, like, freaking, I was watching Ray McGovern and George Andrew Napolitano, and he just said, like, in many ways, Zelensky is a puppet. Like, yes. No one ever thought that he was actually in charge of jack freaking shit.
I know. Now, guys. And gal. And non-binary. Ugh, I hate that shit. Have you ever heard that one? Ugh.
I feel like if you said that word in my presence, I should be allowed to hit you.
I watch a ton of like YouTube content that just gets randomly recommended to me because I'm interested in all kinds of stuff. And the number of people I hear now start their videos with "Hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals" makes me want to puke. It doesn't turn me off the video necessarily because I'm like, well, they're just doing that because they're afraid, right? They're afraid if they don't do it, then they're gonna get eaten alive by the transgender mafia. But here's what we're gonna do right now.
I've done that once, by the way, as a joke.
What,
I said
guys,
lady.
Gals, and non-binary pals?
No. I said I
Folks,
did it a different way. No, I said ladies and gentlemen, and gentlemen, ladies.
Yeah, right. We're about to switch over to Rumble because we're going to be talking about the situation happening in Israel and Palestine, which is not going to be YouTube friendly, obviously.
Yes, because they feckin' took off Andrew Tate's video, which was like literally say, let's not escalate fucking war. Like, that's
which
insane
is going to be
to
our
me.
position, by the way. So if that's not, if that's not allowed on YouTube, obviously we can't talk about it. The only opinion that you can have on this website is, well, we'll talk about it because I can't even say I can't even say the things on this stream right now that Ben Shapiro and Ethan Klein have said in the last couple of days, right? It's sick. So we're going to head over to Rumble. Before we do, I'm going to read the super chats here on YouTube so we get that settled. And then we're going to move over to Rumble and I'm going to take a pee break. So we'll have a couple seconds in between. A couple minutes. It won't take that long. But anywho, Dustin Shupak for 2 says, Aiden, do you ever watch Shelter by Porter Robin? No, I don't. Let me copy that down. Shelter by Porter Robin. I've never seen it. Let me put that in my notes. Thank you. Monkey for £10 says, I'm so glad I never got into the series. Here, use this for beer money. It'll numb the pain. That's actually the problem, Monkey, but about it. Thank you for the 10. And yeah, don't worry about Song of Fire.
I'll spend it on very high proof rum. I will drink that on stream one day, by the way.
You should. Unbricked for 2 Canadian says, I'm shocked Hassan can speak. It does often shock me as well that he's capable of speech.
I'm actually amazed people give him money.
Because
what does he offer the world?
He's a himbo. Because he's conventionally attractive, because he's on gear, by the way.
But he's also retarded.
Yeah, do you think... But he says what they want to hear. We've talked about this many times.
I don't say what I want people to hear.
No, but that's because you and I have some level of integrity. Hassan says whatever the fuck he thinks his audience wants to hear.
Also, his audience is like under 15 years fucking old.
Yes, because they're children and they want to hear that leftism good. That's it. Lance for 5 says the most interesting thing about all of this is the hilarity of the left having their mask off moment with their decolonization. Oh, I know, isn't it? We're gonna get into it. Thank you, Lance. Dreadnought for 5 says at this point it appears that the left's position is that Hitler did nothing wrong. Would be true if only Hitler was brown. Well said. Does seem that way to me. Lance again said he was an exalted Cyclops. Get it right. I always forget. I always get it wrong on Robert Bird. Kuromaru Oni-san says, I am Yisrael Chai, too. Hasselhopper for 5 says, usually when you can't send super chats, it's because you said a naughty, and YouTube doesn't tell you that explicitly. Yeah, but apparently you couldn't send any. Thank you. Slosher for 10 Canadian says, have to work today. Catch you on the replay. Been a slow news week. I'm sure it'll be a short show. Oh, yeah, of course. Hasselhopper for 5 says, Aiden, you're misreading this. He's saying don't hold him to an impossible standard God. Look at him versus other people competing with him. Yeah, but when it's like God versus the alternative, my brain just went to like, oh, God or Satan. So I guess it's like,
yes,
I'd rather be compared to Satan because God is an impossible standard. It's still, the dichotomy was inevitable for my brain to jump.
I see what your position is, but it's
yeah. Why would okay? But that's why I was reading it that way. Redneck Ram for 5 says Aiden Burb confirmed and Spoon Ooh Woo Master is confirmed. Well, hang on a second. Excuse me, I did forget about. Excuse me, princess. Since we do have that super chat from Redneck Ram, I do have to bring up something. I didn't have it up. Whoop, not that. Not SoundCloud. Soundboard. There it is. Let's bring up the soundboard. Whoa, here we go.
Oh, whoa. Oh, there God, I hate you.
You're gonna see what I need to add more to this soundboard, but.
Oh, whoa. I love democracy. I love the Republic.
And we like neither, actually.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
We don't like that either.
You said the word again! I was...
There's my little soundboard.
You need to get one that says democracy is cringe. Read Aristotle. You need that guy.
Oh, I need to add that to. You know what? You're right. Hang on. Let me put that in my notes too, because I need to add that to on here.
Sure, yeah.
Cringe. It's cringe. Reads. So. Okay. Where are we at with? Yeah, it's.
This is a good take by someone on Twitter. Says college is broken, and this is a good thing actually. Within 10 years, it'll only be a signal that you're a midwit machine cog. Anyone more capable will skip college. That's very true.
True.
Because when someone says to me now they've been to college, I instantly think like they're intellectually programmed and they don't have any brains. When somebody says I didn't go to college, I feel like you are smarter. Yes, limited God, I can see that, by the way.
Oh, I'll add a chirp too. I'll add a chirp. Wrote crip. I read it again. Okay. I'm real bird brain today. I can't even chirp correctly. Vinny the D for 10 says, about 15 minutes behind, but is it time for a crusade? Been to the Middle East 4 times, and yeah, not for Israel, but for the history of Christianity and what they do to Christians. It's not a simple, it's not one side good, other side bad thing, which is what you'll see if you go onto Twitter
one side
or any
good, other side gay.
Fox News and CNN are all doing the same shit, as we will see. Free Golem for 5 says, don't compare me to the ideal of perfection. Compare me to actual other options. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for translating Biden needs to me. Kuramaru Anisan says...
That's the bit you get, but the rest of us not? Oh, fuck's sake.
I got it! That one made sense to me. It finally made sense to me.
God damn it,
made it sense. There we go.
Otherwise, you still need to help me set up merch, by the way, so I can get some t-shirts.
Yeah, you have to do that. So which part was more offensive? The killing, raping, kidnapping of 1,000+ cities in a coordinated raid, or the attempt to make sure that it never happens again? We're going to get into the fact that there's so much there's so much different disinformation, and this is not an isolated incident. Without getting too much into it, this is not something that happened out of the blue. Needs more Uncle Alex. Lance, you're right, too. Cool soundboard needs. This is not something that happened out of the blue. This is a storm that has been brewing for 70+ years. And there have been multiple intifadas already. So to act like this just or to think and pretend like this just happens out of nowhere is incredibly incorrect. But I understand people are reacting on emotion, and that is understandable to a certain degree. But on some level,
it's understandable if you're a woman. If you're a fucking man, I wouldn't expect this kind of emotional shit from you.
Yes, and you're not a professional political commentator, in which case you need to, cool your head and think about things logically, which I know is very difficult. I told you, like, I think this is going to change my opinion. Search condition to a certain degree. DRT is King for 5 says, I got back from Women's Hour, excuse me, but it's good that you're live while I'm sick at home. Oh, I hope you feel better, DRT. I hope you don't get as sick as I have. I have had a cold for the last month, and I had blood work done a couple of days ago. I'm now on a crazy, high dosage of vitamin B because I'm super lacking. That's obvious. Worse by drinking. But I also
I wonder why.
Eat. But I also just don't eat.
Yeah, and then you wonder why you're fucked up. Maybe you should listen to me more often.
Whee!
You know I'm right. Ow!
Says,
fucking hell.
Did you hurt yourself?
Yeah, I hit my knee.
Aw. You alright?
Fuck you.
Aw. Poor Spoon. Give him kisses on his boo-boo. That's how rumors start, Bill said. Galactic Emperor Schlerm for 5 says,
Bill, get the mace.
Around the lower third corner of the face that gives the game away. It's insulting when people try to sneak by you. I know.
Yeah, I have knees.
I had blood despair, only a little bit. I felt shitty since then. Yeah, they only took like 4 vials, which isn't a lot. I've had so much blood work done over the years. Horwitz, Feinberg, and Horwitz for $20 says some shekels to ease the transition to Rumble. Thank you for aiding in our transition. Hopefully it goes well, and hopefully no one cuts their dick off. Lance for 2. Yes, it was the cool soundboard. All right, speaking of, we are now going to transition into a beautiful woman, aka Rumble. So, because we can't say this stuff over here, I will see you guys over on Rumble in just a moment. I will be right back as well, because I have to be right back. Go ahead, Spoon, take it away.
I don't actually know how to stop the stream.
Oh, I'll stop it on my side.
Oh, there we go.
On YouTube.
I'm hoping it only stops it on YouTube.
Yes, it should only stop it.